welcome to my channel. My name is Lisa, and I hope you're all having a wonderful and creative day, and hopefully you will like this project that I am working on today. It is going to be a triple fold pocket, couple different versions. Some pockets will be on one side, some will be on two sides. There's just a whole variety of things you can do with this simple fold and a one cut or maybe two cuts at the most, but super simple. All right, so we're going to start with 8x8 papers, and I have actually gone through and pulled my Tim Holtz 8x8s out. I know, crazy. I'm actually might going to use them. You could probably do this in 6x6. I have not tried it yet. I'm thinking it end up being smaller, but I'm pretty sure it would work. But for now, we're going to use the beautiful 8x8s that I have for Tim Holtz. Now, I have pulled out a couple that are flowery for the flower journal that I'm working on. I pulled out one that's got purple. I'm not sure why I pulled out the orange one. For the purple journal that'll be coming up. So I'm going to move these to the side, and well, let's just start with this one. Okay, so usually sometimes it's hard to tell which way is going to look the best, something flip-flopping the correct way, but I find that if you put the pretty stuff on the inside for the first fold, you have a better chance of it showing nicely on the outside when it's all said and done. Okay, so the first fold we're going to do is we're going to fold it up pretty side inside, not corner to corner, but we are going to bring it down a little bit. Just picture that this would be where a pocket would be. And this is a pretty good mark because you can see the words there. So we're going to go ahead and fold that. I'm just trying to keep the point to the point, since you're not folding it totally directly in half. Sometimes it can get a little cattywonk. Okay, so the next fold you're going to do is you're going to take and you're going to fold one of these triangles up to become the third pocket. So I think I'm going to fold this because this pretty is here. So I want the pretty on the second fold. So we're going to fold this up, and again we're going to fold it to be about same distance as that was. And this is pretty thick paper, but I will be able to thin it out in a minute, which is what makes helpful. So let me get a fake piece of paper here. Now, you could be all done. This could be your pocket. Pocket here, pocket here, pocket here. And I'm going to cut this. I almost forgot. The 8x8s end up being just a little bit big for a normal journal. So that's why I think the 6x6 would work. But for now, yeah, we're going to go with that. So I just want to cut this off straight. And I'm going to do my best to line it up. Well, let's be 5 1/4. Yeah. Oh, is that 5 1/4? That's the 5 1/4 line. Okay. And the bottom straight and chopping it off. Let's see if that was enough. That should work, but I think I'm going to just chop a little bit more, just because I don't want it's so thick and bulky. I don't necessarily want it to be. So maybe we'll do 5 1/8. I don't want it to be totally stuck in the fold, belly, spine, the spine of the journal. Okay, so again, you could easily glue this onto a pocket and be done, be done, be done. But there's a couple other options you can do. So if we fold this out and open it up, there's a couple things you can do. We can cut down here and make a flip up in the front and the back, or we can cut this to get rid of this so that it can become its own separate triangle. If we do that, we're going to still have these three as pictures, which is fine for this journal, but I do want that flower to show. So I'm going to just cut, if I want to keep the whole thing, I'm just going to cut up this line of the bottom up into the fold. Okay? All right, so we're going to put it back in place. And look what happens. Now you have this lovely little picture. Of course, the bird is sideways. What are we going to do with this? We are going to flip it to the back. And now you have that on the back. So when you go to wrap it around a page, you have a pocket and a pocket. That's got to be over here. I did too many. I put too many on the side, but I think I just came up with another version. Okay. So on this side, we have a pocket behind miscellaneous, we have a pocket in front of miscellaneous, and then we have a pocket there. And then on this side, we just have a singular pocket. Easy, glue in. But as I just noticed, we could have put it on the side and had a pocket pocket and a pocket pocket. I love it. Now I did have an idea of where I wanted to put this, and I do have one of my, take this page out here, one of these, the journal that I have for one of the flower signatures, and I was thinking that this would be great here because look how pretty that would be next to that. So, and yeah, I think we'll do 3 pockets because I do like this miscellaneous showing, is if I did it the other way and put it in there, the miscellaneous would not be showing, it would be hidden, right? Let me just double check. Yeah, that would be hidden, and I like that miscellaneous sales. Okay, so we're gonna go with that. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so the first glue we're gonna do is we are gonna glue this flap down. Now, like I said, sometimes you can't always tell what is gonna end up being on the front. Probably if I sat and tried to figure it out, I might be able to figure out ways to get it to be going the right direction, but I will put a label there and the bird will just be gone. Sorry, bird. Okay. All right, so we're gonna put some glue up this. I'm gonna glue the bottom when I glue the other side. I just wanna get this in here. Oops, not too far over. There we go. Just wanna make sure that it is all the way up to the base and down there. And this side, we will throw a little on the base. Nothing would fall out because it's folded over, but I think it just give a little bit more strength. And we're gonna go up the side and glue that down. Okay, let's put it back in the book and see how it looks. So cute, right? Tuck there. And on this side, you got a tuck and a tuck and a tuck. And oh, I forgot to close this one. We need to just close this one. Okay. Yeah, cute. Okay, so let's put that away. And I've gotten one that I cut already. And I did start to glue it up. This was going to be a wraparound on the bottom, but I just wanted to show you. Oh, I think it still has to be. Oh, yep. Yep, because that would have to come. I probably could still do it. I glued it down, and I shouldn't have. Okay, so there is the original folds. But if I want to keep this, I would cut up the triangle there and then cut this one off, which is the smallest triangle. So now I have a angle that can go anywhere in the book by itself. And I have this as a pocket just to go on one side. So we need to glue that. I'm gonna glue this down. Probably would stay down with the fold up, but just in case. And I'm gonna glue this up, which is where I made the mistake and glued it up first before putting that in there. And again, this stuff is so thick. Want to go ahead and glue that to a page, and you got a one-sided page. Cute. All right, let's do this one. All right, so if you want pretty on the inside, so we're gonna fold it up. I'm gonna keep it on this side because that will be the side that ends up getting flipped up. So we're gonna go pretty on the inside. And this one is definitely completely looking different on both sides. This is actually the one that I used in the last video that I got the belly band with the 3 pockets. Not the last video, I think the one before them. This is the paper that I used, the 12 by 12 version, but this is the 8 by 8 version. So to go well, that I have a kind of coordinated one for that journal. Okay, and then we're gonna flip this up this way so that the 3 pockets are together. Okay, so make a decision. Do we want to keep it green, green, green this, or do we want to have that up? And that's what I do want up. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut it down this fold here to there. Okay, that's gonna be there. So that we've got now green and whatever color that would be, and purple. And we'll go ahead and flip this one to the back side and have one side of purple on there. I was kind of wondering if we could go that way, because then that word would be correct, but this one is still kind of jacked up. It's such a shame. I really got to try to figure out how to get these two, but it's okay. All right, let me trap down that end cap. All right, so we decided 5 is probably a good amount, and try to get it straight on the bottom. Okay, and we'll glue that flap up. And this is going to be, like I said, for the purple journal. And we're going to glue. You know what? I'm not going to glue that because I might decide to wrap this one in the journal around the page and have that and that on one side and that and that on one side. So I'm not going to, and I'm not going to glue this one. I'm just going to leave it as an item because I really think I do want it to do that. Just because it will be, yeah. Okay, I'm going to put that with the purple journal. All right, I grabbed a 6x6 paper pack just to give it a shot, and I do have some purple in here. So let us see what we can do with that. And I do need to cut the top part off with the circle. And 6. Now this does have a solid. This paper pack has a solid on the back, so it will look different when folded. I know a lot of the 6x6 paper packs have white in the back, so that might also be something to think about. All right, so pretty in the center. We're going to call the lines pretty. We're going to fold it up. And we'll fold it up. Now, like I said, you could stop here and have the pockets. Now, if that was the case, I probably would put the pretty on the outside and do it that way so that there was two pretties. But either way you wanted to do it, because again, we can go ahead and cut this so that it is a little bit different. So let's I think we're going to do it this way because I can flip up the weight. All right, so we're going to once again cut it down this centerpiece, and this is going to get folded up, and that's going to be the piece, and that could be a back piece. So this would be fun to decorate because it's solid, and that would be solid. So I'm going to just going to glue this one down because it is going to be on the front there. And I'm going to glue that one down right there. And let's check to see how it would fit on a page, because I don't think we need to cut this one down. Yeah, you don't have to cut that down. You can stay like that. If you want to cut it down because it's, you just don't like the oddness of it, you can definitely do that. You can even cut it if you wanted to completely down so that it's totally even. And then that could go on the other side. Again, easy to decorate. Or totally on one side and be done. Get rid of that for bulk, but that's about it. Yeah, I like that. All right, I think I have one more flower left, so let's see if we can get this done. Because I do have, I folded earlier. I have this one, and I had glued and I had to unglue. And I still think I might use it because I do like that one. So I think I'm going to cut this piece off to get rid of the bulk. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to get rid of the bulk on this one. This will go into the flower journal. I should have learned my lesson and not practice on the really good stuff before I did some folds. Yeah, so this will be just one-sided. Same with that one, with the extra triangle and an extra triangle for the flower journals. Okay, so this one we're going to try to make to be not an extra journal. So what if I put the pretty on the inside and had it upward? Because that would be folded up. Okay, let's try that. So if this works, pretty on the inside, so the top is facing you, is going to be the answer. But we will see. Okay. So no matter what, I always cut this part, even if it's gonna be flipped to the front and the back, or if I'm gonna get rid of the bonus. Okay. So that is the front. And that is the back. Yeah, either way, it's still upside down. I got to figure this out somehow. I thought for sure that was going to be there. My brain is not braining. Yeah, brain is not braining. Okay. It's still pretty, though. I still like it. Just going to chop the corner off at 5. Just for consistency. Yeah, not too bad. I'm not going to glue it because I don't know where it's going to go yet. But I think I am going to do this one because it's kind of nice and neutral. And I think this would be fun to put into something and be able to decorate this. Now, I had a thought for half a second and it went out of my brain. What I wanted to try on this. Oh, I remembered. I wanted to round the corners to see how it looked when they were rounded. I'm going to use my large one, but I'm going to use the smallest one on the large punch, so 14 millimeter. I would say if you only have the small one, I would probably say it's close to being the biggest one then. Okay. All right. Pull that up. And I'll show you why I was thinking about that when this is done. Nope, we've got to go this way. That would be pretty on its own, wouldn't it? So I think I'm going to just get rid of the smaller square. Or triangle. smaller triangle of the square. Okay, I think I still probably need to cut that off. Yeah, I was kind of hoping to avoid that with that nice little rounded edge, but I like it on top, and it'll end up looking nice on the top. All right, I'm gonna cut it so I don't get rid of that second rounded edge. Just gonna soften that edge just a little. Not exactly rounded, but a little bit softer. Oops. You are just gonna go there. Yeah, that's a good size. And then this is gonna be its own little corner. Up tuck or down tuck. Yeah, I like it. Okay, well, I think that is gonna be it for me today. I think this is fun. I think there's just a lot of ways to fold this and be, again, that still hides a bunch. But that's the way to do it too, is if you can see how it ends up going. And see if you like a different way a little bit better. It's a shame those. It's just a shame they're gone. But that's what happens when you play with Tim Holtz paper. Is you end up losing some pretty stuff. I think I'll do it that way. Okay. I was kind of hoping I could switch it, but that's all right. I'll be able to figure out which page it needs to go on in the journal and glue the correct pockets. And I noticed that I cut this one kind of wonky. There we go. That looks a little better. It's not Dizzy Lisa. Okay, well, I got so many different options here. I'm quite excited about that. Sorry I was a little all over the board, but you know, I'd like to kind of craft in the moment, and that's what happens sometimes as you're crafting in the moment. This would have looked good rounded too, I bet. Okay, that is going to be it for me today. I appreciate each and every one of you that has stopped by and hung out with me, and as usual, I hope you all have a wonderful and creative day. Bye now.